I'm waiting for more people to come in the building. I'm waiting for more people to come in the building. I am waiting for more people to come in the chat. Waiting for more people to come in the chat. When we get more people in the chat, I will start this live stream. I'm waiting for more people to get the notification. I am waiting for more people to get the notification. We will not start this live stream until more people come in the chat. We will not come in. I will not start until more people come in the chat. I'm waiting for the notifications to go out. What's going on, Rizza? How you doing? I'm looking at my phone right now, see what's going on. So I'm waiting for more people to come in the building. When we get a certain amount of people, then I will start the live stream, show y'all what's going on. So continue to get the likes up. Continue to get the likes up. Let's go. Keystone in the building. Joshua in the building. Running up 360. What's going on? Let me put this AC on just in case. Can y'all guys hear me loud and clear? Okay. Let me get this person out of here because moderators is not paying attention to the chat. Joyce, how you doing? That's why I got my phone, because my moderators don't pay attention to the chat. I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to block the people. Once I catch it, that's why I got my phone ready. I'm going to have to do double work because my moderators sometimes don't be catching what's going on in the chat. And I see Joyce in the building. How you doing, Joyce? Good to see you. All right. I might be giving out some wrenches soon. It all depends on what happens. Because if this is going to be a continuation, you have a wrench, and I'm blocking the person before you, that's not a good sign. You're supposed to block the person before I'm supposed to block the person. Especially when it comes to this type of topic. You know people going to be in their emotions. Let me do some changes right now. There's a couple of things I need to do. I should not have to be blocking people before the moderator's blocking people, especially with this type of topic. You got to be on top of your game. You got to be on top of your game for real. Give me 1 second, make sure. Let me check everything. Hold on. I got a couple of things I need to do. All right. Let's get the lights up, y'all. I'm not saying nothing until we get the lights up. We got to get the lights up. The lights have to match the views. I'm going to be quiet until the lights go up. This is a serious topic, what I'm about to tell y'all. Get the lights up. I'm going to be quiet until the lights go up. I'm not playing games. I'm very serious. All I'm asking you to do is like the video. That's part of supporting the platform. Like the freaking video. Are you a child? Something literally wrong with you? I wouldn't come to somebody's platform and not liking the video. That's crazy. Let me do what I got to do here. Hold on a second. Until we get the lights up, I'm going to be quiet. Listen, I will turn off the comment section. If we don't get the lights up to 15, I will turn off the comment section. And the only ones that will be talking in here is the moderators. Do y'all want that to happen? Do y'all want that to happen? I'm not playing. Like the freaking video. The least you could do is like the freaking video. God, leash, man. If you can't do a simple thing, then you don't want to get better in life. It's crazy. I will turn off this comment section. If we don't get over 10 likes in a couple of minutes, I'm turning off this comment section. I'm telling you right now. All right, let's get down to this video. I'm going to show y'all something. All right, here we go.
Tubman is live in New York. She's at a food bank there. That is where civic groups are working now to help families in need. And Katie, who is sounding the alarm right now that this program is running out of money?
Well, Del, across the country, from Texas to Florida to California to Pennsylvania to here in New York, officials are sounding the alarm, saying that unless Congress reaches an agreement soon, more than 40 million people will lose access to vital food assistance benefits, SNAP benefits, and that means they could soon lose access to food on their own tables. For millions of Americans already struggling to put food on the table, the uncertainty is growing. Whether you're a homebound senior citizen,
I will suffer, and many like me will suffer,
or a disabled job seeker,
I don't know how I'm going to survive. But right now, it's going to be so hard.
or a college student trying to feed yourself.
It's definitely a scary reality to face.
That reality, more than 40 million people at risk of losing access to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP if the government shutdown continues past October. According to the USDA, most SNAP households live in poverty. A third of those included children, and half included someone who is elderly or has a disability. The average benefit amounted to $6 a day. Earlier this month, the USDA warned states that if the government shutdown stretches into November, the entire SNAP program would face insufficient funds. And a number of states have already issued warnings to expect no new applications, a delay in benefits, or no benefits at all come November. For many SNAP recipients, options for feeding their families and themselves are limited. Food pantries and nonprofit groups are under increasing pressure to fill the gap.
We're already getting calls from our partners to load them up with what we consider emergency meals.
Beth Shapiro is the CEO of City Meals on Wheels, which helps to feed older homebound New
Feed More Western New York is the hunger relief nonprofit.
Okay. Here we go.
Of people speaking out today about looming cuts to the SNAP program, how new work requirements and fewer exemptions are all coming at a time when the government shutdown threatens to lock up funding. Next 11, John Mueller has more from City Hall.
We will not go hungry. We will not go hungry. We will not go hungry.
The chants of "We will not go hungry" on the steps of New York City Hall. Citizens, advocates, and local politicians protesting massive cuts to the SNAP program by the Trump administration.
I have been hungry many a times and had no job, and SNAP helped me. We are not just a number on a spreadsheet that can be deleted.
My SNAP is only $23. I don't have enough to eat for the month.
The president's so-called big beautiful bill slashes $186 billion in federal funds to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program over the next decade. Now, new work requirements and fewer exemptions are coinciding with the federal government shutdown, creating a perfect storm of worry.
And now, what the president is threatening to do is to stop food stamps for 1.8 million New Yorkers.
That ain't right.
We're talking about over 500,000 kids, over 500,000 older adults. These are everyday New Yorkers who desperately depend on food stamps to feed their families.
Advocates are calling on the feds to rethink their cuts and hoping the state and local governments will step up and help offset the hardship.
But we're not going to go back. We're going to move forward, and we're going to say enough is enough, and at the city, the local level, the state, they need to do
something while the federal government have a shutdown.
Adding to the anxiety, the Trump administration is ending the federal government's reports on hunger in America, saying they've become over-politicized. Critics say it will deliberately make it harder to assess the impacts on these SNAP cuts. John Mueller, Pix 11 News.
Before we get to the crash outs, I just want to play one more news clip. Let's just get to it. Look, all I could tell you, if you are in these particular places, go check out my recent video. Look, get what you need to get before November 1st. People are going to act a fool November 1st. People are going to act a fool in these major cities November 1st. Especially in these Ibarasi places. People are going to lose their mind. And you're going to see it live on Instagram. You're going to see it live on Facebook. You're going to see it live on YouTube. You're going to see it live on social media. People are going to put their business out there on social media of what they're going to do in real time. You do not want to be around these people. You want to stay put. Make sure you're good. You know what the heck I'm talking about. Moderators, what's going on here? We got a demon in here. We got a demon asking me a stupid question, and you're not even blocking the person. What's going on? Do y'all see what's going on in the chat? Moderators, do you not see what's going on in the chat? I got a demon in the chat asking me stupid questions, and y'all not blocking them? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get to the next one.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, I am delighted to be back here once again and to, first of all, thank Dr. Adam Aponte for inviting us back. And I don't know if you know that this organization is also who gave me one of my COVID shots. And so doesn't hurt anymore, I promise you. But also the CEO of this health center and the East Harlem Council of Human Resources. You know, I wish we didn't have to be here today. I love seeing all of you. Love to come and have lunch with the seniors. We don't call them seniors. We call them, what was the one about teenagers? Recycled teenagers. Okay. I'm a recycled teenager. So I'd love to come back and have some of the turkey, which smells really good with everybody, for a different occasion. But it breaks my heart, the reason we...
She don't care about none of you folks in New York. She's mocking y'all. She's mocking your crash outs. This governor of New York is mocking your crash outs. She's going to have a lovely turkey, going to have a Halloween freak off, and you are not going to have anything in your pocket. The people that work at the airlines, the airports, ain't going to have nothing to look forward to for the time being. And this governor is celebrating, talking about you a kid. Y'all going to sit there and tolerate that in New York? Y'all going to tolerate these Ibarasi nonsense?
We have to be here today. And I want to thank all the elected officials who are just recognized, our state leaders, our local city leaders, who understand the urgency of this moment. And grateful for all of them, and also our member of Congress, Adriano Espaillat. You'll be hearing from him momentarily. He is fighting the fight for us in Washington. I want to thank him for it. You'll also be hearing from a number of our speakers who are going to tell you what it's really like. You know, we talk about cuts and numbers, and there's real people behind these stories, and it's important we showcase them as well. I also want to thank our Commissioner Barbara Gwynn, the Office of Temporary Disability Assistance, for all of her and all of the people who represent the food pantries, the food banks, the social services organizations, the people are going to be affected in the grocery stores. We're going to have farmers affected. I mean, everything that's going on here has a ripple effect throughout our state. So it is great to be back here. As I say, I'm in Harlem a lot of meals here particularly, but it's great to be back in Harlem. And you think about the fact.
That place is done. That place is done, y'all. That place is done. She's so disrespectful.
That this neighborhood, this vibrant community helped shape the discourse for some of the 20th century's most powerful social movements and helped make America a fairer, more just place and actually more compassionate. That is why we're back here to talk about how all of that is at risk. And we have to fight back. We know how to fight back, and we will fight back. And let's just frame what is happening. We have Donald Trump and a whole lot of spineless followers in Washington, his enablers, who are literally, like, this is what's happening. They're waging an all-out war on the working class. Because how else can you do?
Did you hear what this broad said? Did you hear what this deity say? This is crazy. This is a crash out waiting to happen. Let's go.
Describe all the programs that they're just destroying. You know what it is? Taking from the poor to give to the rich. It's nothing more than that. And
taking from the poor to give to the rich. You got the biggest tax going on in New York State history. Y'all next to New Jersey. Y'all is closer to New Jersey when it comes to state, local income, federal. People are paying a lot of taxes and getting nothing to show for it at the end of the year. And you thinking by taxing the rich is going to help the people that's in poverty line? Are you serious? Let's see. Let's see how good you are. What's the poverty line in America? What's the poverty line in America? What is considered, let's do this. What is considered a single man for poverty line? What's the poverty line for a single man in America? Let's see if y'all know. Don't be looking at Google. Give me an estimate right now. Or I know y'all going to be looking at Google. Or let me just get off my phone. I'll come right back and give you the answer. You should know the answer. 24K is poor. You're not even in the system for 24,000. That's not the poverty line. The poverty line is you are closer to your goal. That's what's considered poverty line. 24K, you don't exist in America. You poor. 24,000 is considered poor. Anybody that's making 24 to a certain amount is considered poor. That's poor. You got people with benefits get more money than you. If you're making 24,000 a year, respectfully, you got people with benefits, SNAP benefits, getting 40 to 70,000 a year. I'm gonna say that again. I'm talking about those who supposed to be working are getting 40 to 70,000 a year. If you're making 24,000 a year, you're not even in the system. The poverty line, to get off the poverty line, you got to make 85,000 a year. You got to make 85,000 a year to get out of the poverty line as a single man. Single woman, 90,000. Because a woman must have more things to do to take care of herself. If you are above 85,000, you're not in the poverty line. If you below 85,000, you are in the poverty line as a man. If you below 90,000 as a woman, you are in the poverty, near the poverty line. But the 24,000, which a lot of people is making, you don't even exist. And the crazy part about it is, people that's below the poverty line are having more children than those who's above the poverty line. Do you know people with more money are not having kids? People with no money or barely getting by is having more children in America than those who have money in America. That's crazy. Let's continue.
Nothing is more apparent, and then we see the blatant attempts to deny people health care and food. Two basic necessities of being alive. And they're hurting programs that do just that.
She's mocking.
That's what I want to focus on today. First,
this governor of New York is mocking the people that's going through it. She's mocking y'all.
The big ugly bill. It'll never be the big beautiful bill, no matter how many times he wants to call that. And our Congress member had to endure the torture of seeing that unfold over the summer and signed into law literally on Independence Day. Let's talk about the effects of that. It'll kick nearly 2 million New Yorkers off their health insurance. 2 million New Yorkers without health insurance. Also, 140,000 New Yorkers will face a 40% hike in their affordable care premiums.
Woo! That's crazy. That's a lot of people.
Now that's starting not next year. Like they thought they kicked all the bad stuff after their election. They thought they'd been really clever about this. But right now with the shutdown, we're going to see people literally on November 1st and through the month of November lose the premiums that help them afford health care. And families are going to see a 40% increase in their insurance use. I think most people do not know this train wreck is coming. And that.
See? All you folks in the blue states, you're going to see more premiums going up. You're going to have to pay for their mistake. You listen, no job is going to save you. There's no job that could save you for what's to come. And the only way you could be doing, even if you're doing pretty good, you're going to have to eventually do for yourself. You know what I learned a long time ago? Ain't nobody gonna bail you out. I was just talking to this gentleman recently. I said to him, to his face, ain't nobody gonna bail us out. Who gonna bail you out? Ain't nobody bailing people out. I'm not trying to hear this, oh, there's people that's bailing people out. Them days are over. Ain't nobody bailing nobody out. Name me people that's bailing people out right now. Helping people out right now. You got to work smart. You got to work smart these days. I don't give all my energy to these people. Let's continue.
That's what I want to put out there now and continue echoing this and reinforcing this and letting them know what's happening. And try to change that dynamic because it's going to be so painful. When the family's sitting there at the end of the month looking at the stack of bills, the utility bills, the rent bills, now they've got to look at their health insurance premiums. I bet a lot of them didn't even know they're being subsidized. They probably thought, well, that's the price of health care. No, it's not. It's much higher. And the Affordable Care Act, President Obama's legacy achievement, is what helped people be able to make those payments easier. And that assistance is going to be wiped away. But
Well, then why is your budget so bad then, Governor Holcomb? Why is the budget so bad in New York? Because y'all wanted to do y'all was the first city to push these things on people and force people to not want to do it, and they lost a lot living in New York City. People lost their lives in situations. You see how she marked in the beginning with such and such situation? She mocked everybody saying, here I am, and everybody else lost their lives with those situations. You see how she's mocking the New Yorkers? Y'all put her in office. This is what you get when you put a deity in office. When you put a deity woman in office, you working your behinds off in New York City and you ain't got nothing to show for it. You working your behind off in New York City and you ain't got nothing to show for it. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me 1 second. One second, y'all. 1 second. You know what I'm saying? Busting your behind, and she's mocking what's going on with you.
also, this isn't a next year problem. 300,000 people are going to lose critical food assistance as well as heating assistance. So, you know what?
Y'all gonna be living in the cold. Y'all going to be living in the cold this whole entire winter. You folks that live in these cold climates, these Ibarasi cold climates, especially New York City, she said that you are going to have a cold winter. You're not going to have no heat. What's that got to do with the food? It's crazy you ain't going to get no food anytime soon. You're not going to get no help. Nobody's going to bail you out. The governor is making it clear we can't help you. And she's doing it in Harlem. Y'all sitting there allowing her to disrespect y'all. And then you're going to have a socialist mayor in New York City. And that place is done. It's over. Ain't nobody coming to bail nobody out. People in America is becoming more heartless for the most part because we got a bunch of entities and deities, warlocks and witches around us that's in power, want to suck the lifeblood out of you and see you go to planet hell with them. They waiting for you folks. That is, if you're not making $85,000 or more as a man, as a single man, or $90,000 as a woman that's single, you are not even in the system. It's not too many rich folks gonna come bail you out. They got their own situation they gotta deal with. They can't help everybody. They got their own problems they gotta deal with. Y'all be thinking rich folks don't have problems? They got a lot of problems too. They just don't display it on the internet or to the people they know. They just deal with it and figure it out. Nobody bailing nobody out.
let's talk about the politics of this. It's not a political event, but there's politics behind this. There are 7 members of Congress who are Republicans. 7. Only one in New York City, a little further south from here. But statewide, any one of them has the power because they have such thin margins right now, right? The balance of power between Democrats and Republicans is awfully close. Any one of them or a couple of them could walk into Speaker Johnson's office and say, you know, I thought about this. I just can't do that. I cannot do that to the people who put me in office. I can't unleash that much pain on families in my state. But they're all a bunch of cowards. None of them have done that. They still have a chance.
Now she calling the Republicans cowards. When you're out there disrespecting your own state, your state is suffering. You haven't had a surplus in a long time. New York State and New York City have not had a surplus in a long time. Colorado has not had a surplus in a long time. They got a big budget deficit. LA, Oakland, y'all have problems deficit-wise. You have no surpluses in your state. Detroit is finally getting out of it. Now they begging. They suing Trump. Colorado suing Trump. North Carolina suing Trump. The tri-state area, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, the list goes on. They suing Trump. California as a whole suing Trump. Colorado as a whole suing Trump. Michigan suing Trump. Illinois suing Trump. Many other places suing Trump. This is crazy.
And the voices throughout their districts need to be elevated so they understand and feel the pressure that you have time to reverse this right now. What are you waiting for? Because otherwise you're just on the side of those who are happy to take from the poor and give to the rich. So they'd rather have tax breaks for their billionaire buddies. No, they also deliberately shut down government because we're going to keep fighting to make sure these premiums are in place. We're also dealing with sky-high inflation, tariffs. Now we're having another war with Canada. What do they do to us? It's a nice country, nice people.
If it's a nice country and nice people, then you bring your behind to Canada. Listen, nobody's stopping you to go to Canada, Holcomb. If it's a nice place and a beautiful place, then why not a Canadians is going to Detroit to look for work? Why a lot of Canadians is down here in Florida? If it's a nice, beautiful place, then why I'm meeting a lot of Canadians that's working down here in Florida? Why don't you move to Florida? I mean, no, don't move to Florida. Oh, I don't want to give her that idea. Oh, heck no, we don't want her down here. Why don't you move to Canada? Scratch what I said. Bring your behind to that cold, Canada where men can't be men. Women are crashing out in Canada, unaliving their husbands, because that's what's going to go on in your state. You're going to have these ladies unaliving a man. We're going to be hearing news stories of women unaliving their kids because of this.
I like them. They also root for the Buffalo Bills. Which makes me really happy. But for God's sakes, they're our largest trading partner. When you talk about something like housing, why housing costs so much, you know where we get the wood and the aluminum and the steel from? It comes from Canada. So when those prices are going to go up, when you want a new house or a developer's going to put in some affordable housing units, he's now got to raise the price to offset Donald Trump's war with Canada. So see the trickle-down effect on our communities and what we're trying to do? The impacts of Washington that are just so harmful. So on the SNAP benefits, now, Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, done seem to give a damn that we have over 3 million New Yorkers who could go hungry during the month of Thanksgiving. I mean, 3 million New Yorkers because of the shutdown. That's separate from the ones who are going to permanently lose their funding. I don't want to mix this up, but there's a handful that because of the law in place now will lose it for good. But there's also 3 million at risk right now because of this shutdown. Now, I thought she must be a reasonable person. She's a cabinet member. She has the ability to unleash $5 billion in emergency funds. They're sitting right there, not being used. So we wrote a real nice letter saying, you know what? Do you think you could help us out here? Can you make sure that families and kids have food during the month of Thanksgiving? She says there's nothing she can do. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. There is something she can do and this administration can do right now. So, because they won't, just in a matter of short time, we're gonna have older New Yorkers, kids, families, hurting even more. And the small businesses, the mom and pop shops, the bodegas, or even walk in with their food stamps and buy the food. The farmers upstate particularly. All of them are going to be hurting, and many of them are in the room today. And I want to thank you again for lending your voices to this fight. So all we're saying is just unfreeze the SNAP funding. You can do this. Get back to work. Stop the shutdown. Stop taking away health care. Stop taking away food. Just start looking out for the American people.
No. No, Mrs. Holcomb, y'all was not for the American people because y'all was giving to the migrants more money than the American people. Y'all was giving out more money to the people that came into this country, not correctly. They was getting cars, making more money on DoorDash, making more money on Uber Eats, Lyft, Uber. They was making a lot of money than the American driver. The American driver, the truck driver, was getting pennies on the dollar. You got trucking companies that are paying minimum wage to truck drivers. You got truck drivers, CEO, CFO, that is paying pennies on a dollar to the truck drivers to drive those long hours. And they not getting anything. And some of them don't even get benefits. Don't get benefits at all. Listen, y'all. This is a regime change that needs to happen. Let's continue.
Republicans to see the light of day. I'm not sure I'm holding my breath on that one. My team and I are working around the clock to make sure that families in New York do not miss a meal, because that is a painful concept to me. That's why today I'm announcing I'm fast-tracking $30 million in emergency food assistance funds. That'll support 16 million meals, 16 million. And this will support our food security network, many of your representatives in this room. It'll help keep food pantries stocked and little kids' tummies fed. And that's in addition to the $11 million I announced on Friday. So $41 million combined overall support right now during this crisis.
And guess who's going to have to pay it back? Guess who's going to have to pay it back? The hardworking people that can't ever catch a break. You got people from other countries are catching more breaks than the people in America. I'm going to say this again. For the most part, people I talk to that coming in from other countries, listen, they traveling. They're not even thinking about the tariffs. They're not thinking about none of this. They still continuing to travel like it's nothing going on. And they got situations going on in their country. They still traveling. So they can find money in emergency situations, yet they can't find money to make sure people are good, to get these people out of the poverty line. Let's look up the poverty line. Let's see. Let's see if I'm correct. How much money you need to get out of the poverty line in America? Let's do this. Give me 1 second. How much money you need to get out of poverty? 9. $2025 federal poverty guidelines. One person needs to have 15,650. 2 people need to have 21,150. 3 people need to have 26,650. 4 people need to have 32,150. 5 people need to have 37,650. Okay, let's get to it. These are not only the poverty thresholds. While the federal poverty line is a key metric, it is important to note that the actual cost of living can vary significantly based on your location and individual circumstances. Exactly. Geographic locations. The official guidelines do not vary geographic, but some states and programs may use different thresholds of having difficult costs of living conditions. For example, the 2025 poverty guidelines for Hawaii are higher than the contiguous U.S. Purpose of the guidelines. The poverty guidelines are used to determine eligibility for many federal assisted programs, right? But they are also a statistical benchmark for measuring poverty over time and across different demographic groups. Beyond the poverty line. Earning an income above the poverty line does not automatically mean you're financially secure. There may be other factors to consider, such as debt, healthcare costs, and your overall financial well-being. That's true. Let's get to this. Let's see. I can't remember. It's not coming across my head. Okay, let's see. How much money you need to make a month to live comfortably? Okay, it says to live comfortably in the U.S. on a national average, listen to this, a single person needs to make about $7,828 per month, or approximately, here we go, $93,933 annually. However, the exact amount depends heavily on your location, family size, and lifestyles, with some areas requiring significant higher incomes. A general guideline is to follow the 50-30-20 budgeting. Rule 50 for needs, that's correct, 30 for wants, and 20% for savings. Okay, there you have it. So that's the answer. If you are making under $7,828 per month, you are struggling as a single person. Now, let's see how much money you need to make a month to live comfortably with your wife or girlfriend. Let's see what it says now. It says the amount money needs to live comfortably with your wife varies significantly by location and lifestyle. But based on the 2024 data, a household income of approximately $63,000 to over $100,000 per year is often called as a starting point for basic needs to a comfortable standard of living in the United States. This can be broken down to a monthly income of about $5,250 to $8,333 per month for basic expenses. Though many sources suggest a higher income from $7,400 to over $10,000 a month, which I agree with that, is needed for discretionary spending and savings on top of essentials. Let's get to the kids. Let's get to the kids. And let's say 6 kids. 6 kids. Let's see how much you're going to need with 6 kids. Woo-wee. Yeah, I know where I'm going with this. To live comfortably as a family of 8, 2 parents, 6 children. Oh, well, I forgot to. Ain't 2 parents. But we're just going to go with the scenario. You will likely need an annual income of roughly $150,000 to over $200,000 a year, or $12,500 to $16,700 per month. Ooh-wee. Though this figure will vary based on locations and lifestyle factors, like the cost of living in your area, children needs, and personal spending habits will determine the exact amount needed for comfort, which includes covering necessary savings and extra. So y'all be mocking Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was telling the truth. Kevin Samuels was telling the truth. Okay. With your wife and 1 kid. Let's see with your wife and 1 kid. Let's see what it says. The amount of money needed to live comfortably with a wife and 1 child varies by location, but studies suggest an annual income, between $98,000 and $278,000 or more is necessary for a family of 3. A comfortable lifestyle, often defined by a 50-30-20 budget, requires a monthly income of roughly $8,167 to $23,250 or more, which is influenced by high cost of living areas. There you have it. Look. Show you the proof what I'm reading of this one. Listen, the days of you making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 as a man is not going to take care of a woman to be in some household. In order for a woman to not work, you as a man need to be making $10,000 or more a month. And with children, I already gave the answer. I already read it. You could do it yourself. Look, I'm going to get on out of here. To my moderators, don't ask questions who. Shout out to Running Up 360 because he got the person out of here. If you're a moderator, don't ask me who. Look at the comment section. Look at what's going on. If I'm not saying the name, that's because I want to see if you catch it. Running Up 360 caught it. Joshua know exactly who I was talking about. I'm not asking nobody any stupid questions while we having a serious topic conversation. So with that said, I appreciate y'all tuning into the show. And shout out to Robert in the building, Lively Cuts, Rizza, Johan, RC, Keystone, Joshua, and Rizza. I appreciate everyone for tuning in to the show. So that's about that. I think somebody, Lively Cuts was putting 100 in the chat. Yeah, shout out to Lively Cuts for doing the 100 in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm going to get on out of here, y'all. I appreciate those who like the video. Look, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens come this Saturday. Y'all be mindful, vigilant, sober, and cognizant. It's time for us to step our numbers up, y'all. Ain't nobody trying to bail you out. You may get support here and there. At the same time, ain't nobody bailing us out, man. Look, at the end of the day, I got to do what I got to do on my part. I don't get into what I do. It is what it is. Everybody got to do what they got to do. That's all I can tell you. It's just what it is. So for the future moderators, if you see something that's unusual, I want the person blocked. Because if I have to continue to block, I'm going to remove wrenches. I'm going to keep certain wrenches, and I may give out new wrenches. It's all because I want to concentrate on the content. I appreciate your support. I do. At the same time, at the end of the day, it could be frustrated when you see certain things that's going on in the comment section and people ain't catching on to it, especially if the comment section is not moving like that. With that said, I'm out. Peace.